I have a debate with Jangles ScienceLad coming up this Sunday. It's going to be at 7 a.m. Central Time, unfortunately, because we're in such clashing time zones. But that'll be like Sunday night, like 11 o'clock or ish in Australia. And in preparation for this, because I basically just messaged Jangles and said, "Hey, do you want to have another debate?" But I think I wanted to try and have it more targeted and focused, and so I thought a good way to do that would be to start on the whole sex as a spectrum thing, because basically the key to understanding this issue is being able to understand what sex and gender are, and that they're separate and that they have distinct qualities. So in order to do that, then you have to be able to like quite concretely define both of them. It's harder to win on gender, harder for them to win, I think, because one of the weaknesses that gender has from the gender theist's perspective is that it's sociological, so it's like a soft science. It can all kind of be dismissed, whereas the advantage that biological sex has is that it's or it relates to hard sciences, and so it's much more intimidating if somebody like comes at you with a bunch of references and statistics and that kind of thing. It's easy to feel like, oh, well, this person has these sources, so they must be right. And also, in order to rebut this, I'm going to have to do so much reading that it's not really worth kind of getting into. So I just wanted to have a look at Jangles' channel and what he had to say about gender. And most of his stuff isn't on this, but one of them is a response to the LGB Alliance and Artie Morty. Both things I am a big fan of. The thing known as Artie and the thing known as the LGB Alliance. They're good things. Basically, at the end, Jangles jokingly, quote unquote, like he's like, well, you say trans people don't exist because of like junk science. So my response to that is I say you drink dog cum because of junk science. Like it barely qualifies as satire. Anyway, so here are his ideas.
Considering how gender-critical people love to reduce identities to physical components of one's body, especially those parts between the legs,
this is obviously incorrect, and it reminded me of the straw man that Xanderhall tried to create in his video that I responded to.
Second, let's separate biological sex from personal identity.
Okay.
How you see yourself and how you express yourself.
That's gender.
Well done, shithead.
Variation of identity and expression is common. In fact, identity and expression are so varied that they are the most diverse set of traits we have as humans, akin to personality.
Wait, is he gonna try to like slip in a gender and sex to the same thing here? Is that what he's gonna try to do? Is that what he's attempting?
Paradox Institute is arguing biological sex is a binary. He also just said that gender expression was as varied as personality, and you agreed with him.
They are the most diverse set of traits we have as humans, akin to personality.
So why the fuck would he think gender was biologically determined by sex unless he thought there were only two personalities in the world, in which case they wouldn't be fucking varied, would they?
So anyway, back to Jangles.
considering how gender-critical people love to reduce identities to physical components of one's body, especially those parts between the legs, it makes sense to point out the enormous physical variation that exists between human bodies, even those with the same sex chromosomes. That the identifiers of what we think of as biological sex are in large part obscured to us in social settings, and that what we can see when trying to identify someone's gender is heavily socially influenced.
So if these people, mind you, this is just this graph is just talking about the sexual characteristics that we have. If these people both identify as men and express themselves as men to society, and these people both identify as women and express themselves as women to society, that's it. That's the entirety of the analysis. Period. Full stop.
Read Black Like Me. Black Like Me is the man who took the chemical that made him black, and he was black for a while.
If these people both identify as
black
and express themselves as
black
to society,
he learned a tremendous amount.
Is that a good idea? Like, it seems like a bit controversial to, like, you're basically blackfacing yourself. So was that a good idea, what he did?
Well, he thought it was a good idea, and because he thought that was a very liberal thing to do. but he could give it up.
Yeah.
Whereas Ellis
Should I do
Cole,
that? Should I do the black like me thing?
why do you have to do that? Somebody else has already done it.
Yeah, but then I could understand what it's like to be black.
That's it. That's the entirety of the analysis. Period. Full stop.
Will this disguise even work? There's a militant blacks-only political group called the 5 Percenters. I'm going to test it out from one of their senior members, a man called Raheem.
Every black man, as it says in the Bible, you made in the image of God. Every black man is God, and we have that potential.
Every black man or only 5% of the black men?
No, every black man. This black man, every black man.
If these people both identify as
Black
and express themselves as
Black
to society, that's it. That's the entirety of the analysis. Period. Full stop.
Yeah, but then I could understand what it's like to be black.
If you want to talk about the deep discomfort of the arts, dive in. So,